producer's point of view.
The new Party 1019. The new Party 1019. The new Party 1019. New York's #1 for throwbacks.
The producer's point of view.
Yeah, the producer's point of view. We are still in the building. This is the Mor Bookings Takeover Tour. Right live on Wall Street. It's happening. It's happening right now. Whenever you're listening to it, just know this was September 11th when we started it. I don't know when it's going to end because it just keeps going. Somebody keeps going. Scott keeps sending another artist in. Every time I thought I was done with my job, here we go with another influential artist. So right now, without further ado, we got my man Gabe. I was outside with him the other night. We was outside. We couldn't get inside, so we was outside. We made our own movement on Delancey Street. So, Mr. Gabe, welcome to the producer's point of view with your boy DWI Music.
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm happy to be here. I'm
good. AKA the Podfather, AKA the Pioneer Podcast, and I'm on year number 25.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I've been working. But it's not about me right now. It's about you. So, tell me what's going on with this tour. Where you from? Where you representing from?
So basically, born in New Orleans, raised in Minneapolis, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So
all right. So before we get even too far into you now, how do you feel about the situation that's going on where they saying for the Super Bowl they didn't pick Lil Wayne? Like, how do you feel? Real
honestly,
quick.
I think Lil Wayne should have got it, man. I mean, he's like legend. You know what I'm saying? And that's his city, New Orleans, bro. Like the people that are from there are not happy, but you know what I'm saying? You still got to hats off to Kendrick because he's the GOAT too. So I'm not saying everybody have their time, and there's not really much we can do about whether we don't have. That's Jay-Z, that's Rock Nation that decide that. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So how about this? The only reason why I think it's a issue is because Wayne is affiliated with Drake. Mm-hmm. I think if it wasn't that, like, Wayne would have probably brought Kendrick out, or they could have did something together. You know what I mean? I think, or Kendrick would have brought him out. But anyway, that's a whole nother theory. I was just trying to figure that out.
I don't think that he gonna bring out Drake or anything.
No. That's what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is, if they gave it to Kendrick, and Kendrick knows that he knows this, Lil Wayne should feature this. Because this is his city, but they don't have a rapport now because of the Drake situation. All I'm saying, so that won't happen. So anyway, I just thought I asked you that earlier in the conversation. But okay, so New Orleans, and then by way of where else you said you was from?
So I live in Atlanta. I was raised in Minneapolis for 16 years, and then so that's where I got my start in music and stuff like that, Minnesota. And I live in Atlanta now. So I've been in Atlanta 12 years. That's really like
that's a lot of moving around.
My dad was in the Navy. My dad was in the Navy, so I moved around a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I love Atlanta, the city of Atlanta. It's been magical for me. It's been so much opportunities from film, TV, touring with Chris Brown. Like I've done a lot of things.
At least you slid that one in there, touring with Chris Brown.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Film, music.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, man. I've been doing this 18 years.
And that's what I like to hear. So, all right, so you 18 years. When did you really start taking it serious and being paid for it, or spending a lot more money on your craft?
Yeah, you got to spend money to make money, man. Yeah. That's for real. So 2006 is when I got in the studio, and that was the first time I met Chris Brown. And
how'd that meeting happen?
I just paid a promoter off, to be honest.
Sometimes you gotta pay to play. We pay for everything else that we want. Why people think music is supposed to be free?
That's what people think. That's what people think, but it's not. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? You got to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a whole big investment. It's a whole business.
They say it take $200,000-$300,000 to break a single. Have you seen that thing on?
Yeah.
So, but it's true. It's true. I'm right up there, man.
I'm right out there. I'm up there with that. You got your receipts, huh?
Man, listen, I spent a lot on my music, but it shows. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at the
and it's paying off.
It is. I'm here, man. I'm at Party 101. Yeah, I'm here on the producers show.
Yeah, the Matrix Studios. You made it.
You
made it, and you've been patient, and you've been promoting. Mm-hmm. I see you got some new merch. Who bought you some clothes? I thought you was bringing me some clothes. I was like, let him take his time. I thought he got something for me in the bag.
Shout out to Saint, man. You know what I'm saying? So Saint Maurice, he was a guy that had a fashion line over at it's New York Fashion Week, right? So We out here. I'm on my press run. You know what I'm saying? Did meetings with Atlantic Records, Epic, all that. You know, and we got the Times Square billboard later
to the
today.
Matrix Studio. So I gave the other guys the rundown. So the Matrix Studios is a 25-year-old business. I started off as a recording engineer and a producer making beats, and I transitioned in from 2000 to 2002. I transitioned into a radio producer. First time ever producing a radio show for someone, and that one show took me to thousands of shows that I produced, and I got a chance to produce, you know, and work with Cardi B, J. Cole, Nipsey, to name a few, KRS-One, Remy Ma, everybody that's doing something right now. All these battle rappers, they all came through the Matrix Studios at some point. So now you are part of that. You're part of that alumni now. Yeah,
that's hard.
And on this tour, this is a big tour. Shout out to Morris Scott Morris. Which way do you call him?
I call him Morris. You know, but everybody calls him Scott Morris. I like Morris.
What's
like
which one is his first name?
Coach Morris. Like, he put me in the game.
But which one is his first name though? Because we don't know. Scott.
I don't want to put governments out there, but he go by Scott Morris. But I like Morris. Morris he's a good dude. Shout out to him, man. He taken me all through New York. I performed 2-3 times I've been here. This is my 7th day. So, you know, he took me everywhere. We met with United Masters, Atlantic Records, Epic Records, Warner. So shout out to all those guys.
With this experience in itself, you've been to a bunch of different places. Your dad was in the Navy, so you know stranger to move around. So coming to New York City on an epic date like today, September 11th.
Yeah, shout out to the city of New York, man, and to anybody who lost somebody on that terrible day, September 11th. And I know we're like right around ground zero.
So right off the block. You can see the building from
we saw it when we pulled up. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking about the people who lost their lives today. So I just want to give respect to them and just shout that out real quick.
Yeah, so it's a good look that you came on this day. Obviously, we did the Daniel's Leather thing the other day. We was outside in the streets taking pictures, doing drops, drinking and not thinking. It was a beautiful vibe that night. I actually overstayed the time that I wanted to be outside because I was running around from the whole day. But you guys, your energy just had me feeling like my good old days because I come from the era of being outside, networking and connecting with people. So I wanted to be a part. And then, you know, they put me at a certain level now. So I didn't want to just not be able to give my presence to that moment. So, and then now you got here. That night we came up with this plug-in part of the tour because it was for yesterday, and yesterday didn't work out because you had some other stuff going on. So it happened today. So now if you got stuck in another pandemic or so, and you can only do one of three things, one of these 3 Ps, you can either produce a product, you can promote your product, or you can perform your product. Which one would you choose and why?
I would produce because if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. So I'm gonna. And this is exactly what I did during the pandemic. I thought you were gonna ask me. I would have told you record. Right. So I was in the studio for like. Atlanta did not shut down because the rules were if you serve food, all the people like started serving French fries and they call themselves a lounge. What? Atlanta is the finesse, right?
They finessed
so,
it.
Bro, they're the only place in the United States that really didn't close. And the tickets were like $10. They were like $12. I think I paid more for an Uber to the airport than I did to go fly somewhere. Man, I went on tour. I went and visited all my friends. I ended up in Minneapolis at my boy Daniel Stanton's studio, a Dynamite studio. Shout out to them. And I recorded probably like 150 songs in like 2 months.
I was using your time.
And I just sat in there. All we did was drink tequila, eat Popeyes, pass out, get up, do it again. And I came up with a couple of these songs. Like the one I sent you, Meet Up, was one, True. And, you know, I've got me on Revolt TV, stuff like that. But back to your question, you know, I will use my time to produce because that's what I did in the pandemic. And when everything opened back up, then I have my bullets ready to fire. I'm gonna be ready to go, and I'd rather be prepared. You can promote and stuff, but if you spend time on that product, you're good.
Right. And that's not a bad answer either because a lot of people said to perform, and I say, well, perform is like you could do 3 things at the same time because you can perform, you can promote, and you can produce something new while you're performing on stage.
I'm gonna find a way to do a third of everything. Okay.
Right. But the producing, I am a producer by heart, and I love to be in a studio, and I can sit down here, be starving to death. But if I'm into something and I'm trying to figure out if it was making a beat and I was trying to figure this sample out, forget about food. I'm starving right now. Like I'm gonna get
No,
this
we eat
done.
after. I don't like them have greasy fingers on the keyboard and stuff.
So as a creator, I don't know what it's like to not be a creator. So when people see us doing our thing as artists and producers and radio stations, and they think, oh, why are you doing that? You should be doing this, or you could be making all this money. They don't understand what it does to us as creators, because I don't think we chose it more than it chose us. For a lot of us. And do you feel that way, or was you pushed into doing music, or did you just
music chose me?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So I don't. It's definitely my passion. This is all I do. This is what I love. I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Right. And
so
and at this point, you should make the life like that you could, because why? To make money is to make money. To live, that's a different thing. Now, to have a certain amount of money, there's probably a few things that you got to do to get to that point. Some of them are illegal, and I'm not gonna promote those. And then the others, you gotta really put some work into something and get lucky at the same time. Or it gotta be a perfect storm.
Yeah,
but if none of that else happens, but you still enjoy doing what you're doing, then when you get to a certain age in your life, you're not gonna be mad at it. Because as long as you eating and you good, and your family's good, that should be what's most important.
For me, like I never did music for the perks, like for like the girls, like I love attention, but I didn't do it for that. I did it because I love music, and then all that kind of stuff, you get blessed with that. Like that just comes with it, and you attract that. That's from my experience. Like the more I chase something, it runs from me. So all I do is focus on being the best artist I can, write as much as possible. I have almost 3,000 songs recorded. Right. So like, you know, like I'm working, and then when we're at the label, hey yo, Atlantic Records, I've got 3,000 songs. Oh, you write too? Yeah, I'm prepared. Right. So bam, here, take 100. See what you can do with them.
See what you can do with them. Because you got that already. There's nothing.
I'm ready. That's what I'm gonna produce.
There's no pressure now when you get signed. Like so now you gotta figure out. Bro, think about the one-hit wonders that came up with one song on TikTok, and then now they did superstar, and now they gotta go and actually do the work now.
Man, that's a lot of pressure. You know, you get the one song, and then like that's the hardest part. I feel like for me, like I can make music in my sleep, right? But like you have a great record, you're gonna hear Meet Up. It's a great record. It's got a heck ton of radio spins, right? But the thing is, to go back and try to compete with myself is the hardest thing. I'm not worried about competing with anybody else. I'm worried about myself, and I'm like, man, I gotta outdo myself as much as I can. You know,
that's definitely great. Shout out to Sound Collective Studio too for checking us out. That's my partners downstairs. Yeah, I might see if y'all have no time. There's a studio upstairs. There's the engine room, which is a big studio. Pop Smoke used to record up there, and then downstairs to the left, across the street from the bowl, there's it's a audio school. Really? Where they teach DJs and all that, but they have a platform, and then we did like a event the other day, and they allowed us to talk about the evolution of digital media, and I had a panel of PR, somebody from the media, from social media. I had my guy from DigiWax. You familiar with DigiWax?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so DigiWax, my man CL was there, and we just talked about what life was like 25 years ago in the business to where it is now. So the people that was in the audience get a chance to see that.
I wish I was in that room.
You know, but the video's about to drop. When the video drops, you're gonna see it's gonna be super
Send it
viral.
to me when it drops so I can watch it.
Definitely, I got you. Yeah. But so before you get out of here, let's talk about your evolution of digital media. Like, what do you remember the earliest parts of being online? MySpace,
bro. MySpace. We had this thing. It was like a bot, and what we would do is like set the bot to add friends from like artists. So if it was Chris Brown, whatever, we go to his page and pull all the people from the comments, and the bot would we just set it and walk away because we had to click one at a time. You was computer savvy early. You had to do that, and then you get on the blogs and stuff like when the blog era was big before the Homeland Security came through and wiped everything down. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a way to really get your music out there. And I remember watching Eric Bellinger, some of my favorite songwriters, and friends even now, Krishan, like these guys, Jackie.
Also
Boys,
heavy hitters too.
Yeah, these guys were all on the blogs. We were all like in that group, so I had all the emails, and I would send leaks out. You know what I'm saying? To be able to just get heard, and then I would end up interviewing here and stuff. So I was on it, and I understand the importance of if I, this is 10, 15 years ago, really. And it's like, I didn't have no car. I couldn't really go too many places. I didn't have money. So I'm sitting there at the computer like a nerd, figuring out everything. I learned how to code on MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. Man, you can code, make your own banners. And
yeah. So it was cool. It's definitely changed and stuff. And I feel like it's getting easier. It's not going to be easy, but I'm saying.
But for someone like you that's seasoned already, that been through all that, it gets easier now, and it's
more accessible.
Right,
for sure.
And it's more relatable to that you understand that. So
you still got to do it all though. You still got to get out in the street, talk to people, touch people,
give out cards, flyers. You can't get away from the physical part of it.
You got to do all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Barcodes and all that is cool, but have a business card with the barcode on and do both, so you could just pass and go. When you go downstairs near the bowl, you could just pass a bunch of people your flyer.
Right. They was all in line just waiting to be promoted too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and Thaddy about to go out there and do our show, New Blacks on Wall Street, very soon too. We waiting for the hype to die down. After Fashion Week, we're gonna be out there with a camera. You'll see us live, and you'll be like, "Oh, he said we were gonna do that." All right, but we're about to get out of here. We got the next guest up next, and this show has been sponsored by Scott Morris Scott, whichever one you want to call him, Mor Bookings. And this tour is lit right now. Let's introduce your next song before you get out of here.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Gabe Lesman, and this is my song "Meet Up" right here on the producer's point of view. Let's go.
The new Party 1019. The new Party 1019. New Party 1019.
DWI Music.